It's back! Mom, it's back! It's back! I told you! It's returned.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot my satchel.
Phineas and Ferb are back for the most unnecessary revival ever. The show ended perfectly. Obviously, everyone was hoping they might come back for another summer, but at the end of the day, how exciting would another summer really be? It'd just be more of the same, right? We eventually saw the release of Candace Against the Universe, and despite being a little rough around the edges and a rehashed story, it felt like the show had never left, despite how long it had been gone. Now fast forward 5 years, you can definitely tell they've been gone. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but at times it just feels like a completely different show. The humour is different, it feels like there's more episodes that shake up the formula, and you see characters like Vanessa appear more often. I did end up searching up her appearances and appearances for other characters. It does say they appear as much, but it doesn't really say whether it's a speaking role or not. I mean, it's been years since I watched the original show in full, but it just feels like you see her a lot more. Although her design looks really off, I think they've made her skin lighter for some reason, and at the same time, she kinda looks shorter? I don't know if that's it. It's just something I can't place my finger on, but at the same time I feel like I can, but then I also feel like that might be wrong. So for those who don't know, but let's be honest, who doesn't know, Phineas and Ferb is a show about a boy and his stepbrother who build inventions every day so they can have stuff to say when they're asked what they did all summer. Which I wasn't expecting to see, but in the first revival episode, we do see them saying it. Apparently it took them all of the school year to say what they did all summer, so by the time they finish they're in their next summer. So their sister Candace tries to bust them in most episodes. By the sounds of it, they were doing stuff before the pilot episode, but it sounds like it may have been a bit more tame, like they were just training monkeys. Because in the pilot, when she sees the roller coaster, she freaks out and is like, "What is this?" And she seems very worried. As one would if they saw a giant structure in their backyard. Might just be pilot jitters because she seems ecstatic to bust them in every other episode, barely seems worried about what they make. Now, if you had taste, Candace was your favourite character and you often wanted to see her succeed, but, you know, she never did. Weirdly enough, literally everyone except Linda seems to know about the inventions, so I don't know if she'd even be mad. Candace just literally needs closure. She often realises that she loves her brothers and doesn't want to bust them, but it never lasts long. So in terms of episodes that mess with the formula, they're probably the best. The first episode plays out like any other, except the boys build 5 inventions, and when it seems the Aneda is going to hit a mole, it turns and hits Linda. Disney had released this episode before they released the first 10 to drum up hype, and it's safe to say this got people's attention. This ends up leading into an episode where the kids end up using their inventions to save Linda. Honestly, kind of crazy this is a 2-parter because this would make a better movie than Candace Against the Universe. Another pretty good episode is Deconstructing Doof. It's nothing spectacular, but it's still a fun watch. It's your basic detective episode, but then when the therapist tries to expose Doof and Phineas and Ferb, all his research disappears because of Perry and Doof. And Candace realises that maybe she's not crazy because going through what she went through, the therapist went crazy himself. Oh my god, Agent T for teen. Even if you aren't watching the revival, this episode is necessary. Stacy and Perry, finally, oh my god. I can't put into words how exciting this episode is. Everyone wondered how Stacy knowing Perry was a secret agent would pan out and kind of thought they probably wouldn't do anything with it. But yeah, this episode is crazy, and there's other episodes that play with the formula. Obviously, I'm not going to touch on them all, because you guys still need to have something to watch. The humour is different. At times it works, other times it's haha, remember the goat scream meme? People have hated this meme for years. I don't know how it keeps coming back in literally everything. A lot of the comedy is based around modern tech, which is surprising. Not in a I wouldn't expect it kind of way, more that Candace Against the Universe didn't really utilise tech that much. I mean, it was there, but at most, it was just there. The most they really did with it was took a picture of something, which you could do on the old flip phones anyway. But yeah, this season is all haha, TikTok, and it's honestly not terrible. Like, sure, it's only been a year in universe and they've jumped from flip phones to iPhones, but like, honestly, who cares? It's a floating timeline, and it's not like it's the exact same year. Like other shows that are the same year, and they've advanced 30 years in technology. I mean, this is a year with 15 years compared to nothing and 30 years. Another big part of the humour is, haha, remember this joke we made? Which is charming the first time, but can tend to drag. I mean, they did the, if I had a nickel for every blank, I'd have blank, but it's weird that it happened to blank at least 2 times. I've heard people say there's a third, but I can't find a compiled list of reference jokes. Then you have the Candace suit, which is completely built off of Buford having molds of everyone. Funny enough episode, but during the second half of the season, there's going to be Attack of the Candace suit, which means it's coming back. Good grief, callbacks can be charming, but why so much? Overall, the show feels completely different, but at the same time, it's obsessed with its past. Now, while I did complain a lot about the humour, I don't hate it. I think the show is surprisingly enjoyable, despite how different it is. The music is still very good, and the animation doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's rigged, so obviously a downgrade, but as long as you don't look at the background characters, you'll live. With 10 episodes and presumably 20 segments left, it's obviously too early to judge the entire season, but I'm willing to say I've enjoyed what I've seen so far, and am hopeful it doesn't fall off. So yeah, that's my basic thoughts. Maybe tell me what you thought about it in the comments. Oh, and I didn't know where to put this, but they changed the theme song to say there's another 104 days. But then they randomly dropped that 5 episodes in, so it's like, why did they even do it?